Red River Showdown. I'm super excited for this game. This is going to be the last time that we see this rivalry game in the Big 12 Conference. They're going to be moving on to the SEC in 2024. But this season, though, there's a lot that Oklahoma has to play for in this game. And Texas is playing for a lot too, but if Brent Venables goes 0-2 in this rivalry, I don't think that's going to sit well with Oklahoma fans. And Oklahoma fans aren't going to want to hear the excuse, oh, Texas just is one of the best teams in college football. They don't want to hear that. Texas is a favorite to win the Big 12 this year, but guess who's right behind them? Oklahoma. And the talent gap between Texas and Oklahoma isn't really that big. And there's not really a reason why Oklahoma shouldn't have a chance at winning this game, because this defense should be really good. Brent Venables is a defensive-minded coach, right? And Texas has one of the most high-powered offense in all of college football this year. They're loaded at wide receiver. Quinn Ewers is playing at a Heisman level. They got really good running backs, a really good offensive line. But the Brent Venables is the defensive guru that we all make him out to be. Texas offense should struggle in this ball game. And Oklahoma's offense, they've been inconsistent. They have some games when they're on, like against Iowa State and Arkansas State, but they struggled against SMU and they struggled against Cincinnati. And there's been times when Sooner Nation has called out their offensive coordinator, Jeff Lebby. Now, Texas defense is really good this year on all levels. Good secondary, really good front seven. And Dylan Gabriel, he kind of can be a little hot and cold himself. So for Oklahoma, this defense is really going to have a big impact on if they're going to have a shot at winning this game. If this defense can shows up, they got a great chance at being able to pull off a massive upset, because I do believe that this is a massive upset. Texas is a really good team this year. I think Texas is good enough to win it all, but the talent gap between the two makes it that you really can't count out Oklahoma. Plus the fact that it's a rivalry game. And if this game ends up being competitive like it should be, that should be a testament to how improved this team is in Oklahoma compared to what they were in year one under Brent Venables. I think even if Oklahoma loses, depending on how their season plays out and how they do against some of the tougher teams on their schedule, I don't think nobody's really going to have the pitchforks out for Oklahoma if they have a 9-win or a 10-win season, even though they lost this game. Even though nobody wants to lose their rivalry game, but, if Texas wins it all, it's just like, damn, okay, you feel me? But if Oklahoma gets squashed in this game and they get dog walked like how they did last year, then you're going to have some major question marks and major red flags to be had with Brent Venables. Because last year, you got a dog walk because you had Eric Gray pretty much starting for you at quarterback. You were running a Wildcat offense. As soon as I saw Eric Gray out there running that Wildcat offense, I knew that Texas was about to run away with that game. So in this game, you're going to have a healthy quarterback. You don't really have too many injuries to be worried about. You should be able to come in and have a competitive football game with Texas. And the thing with Texas is that they don't really start off all that great in all their games. Now, against Kansas, they came, they saw, they conquered. But, the large reason why some people, including myself, thought that maybe Texas could struggle against Kansas was because of Jalen Daniels. But guess what? Texas didn't have to worry about Jalen Daniels because he got injured right before kickoff. And Jason Bean, he's not crappy, but he's no Jalen Daniels. So, of course, Kansas was going to get smashed by Texas without Jalen Daniels. Now, Texas, sometimes they can get out to a slow start, but they got the ability to turn it up at any time, right? And Texas is a really great team. You see, Oklahoma, we don't know if they're a great team. Right now, they look like a very good team, but with Texas, they've already proven themselves. They got a win against Alabama on the road in Tuscaloosa, and I don't want to hear anybody trying to discredit that win. Regardless of how Alabama's season plays out, winning on the road in Tuscaloosa is no easy feat. You got to be a really good team to do that. And With Texas being a great team, great teams have the ability to just find ways to win games, even if they don't play their best football. They have something that I call the trapdoor ability. For example, Ohio State against Notre Dame. Notre Dame had a chance to put the nail in the coffin against Ohio State, and they weren't able to do it. They punted the football back, and they gave the ball to Ohio State, and Ohio State drove down and won the football game. If you're Oklahoma, you got to win this game. And you may be asking, what do you mean by win this game? Of course they got to win this game. No, when I mean win this game, it's like you can't leave no leftovers on the table. You got to clean your plate. You can't have any back-breaking penalties. You can't be turning the football over. If you get an opportunity to go up 2 possessions against Texas and put the game on ice with less than 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you got to do it. You got to finish. You know, against great teams, inferior opponents have a hard time finding ways to finish them off. Great teams just know how to win. And Texas, if this game ends up being close and Oklahoma can't finish them off, then Texas is going to win it because they're just a great team and they're a very well-coached team. And I'm not saying Texas is more well-coached than Oklahoma, but I don't think that Oklahoma has near the amount of talent that Texas has, at least offensively. I mean, offensively, come on, man. Like, they got A.D. Mitchell, Isaiah Neyor, Jordan Whittington, Xavier Worthy. You know, you don't really got a lot of receivers that's as good as what Texas has. Is a lot of those receivers that Texas has transferred to Oklahoma, they'll be starting right now. But the thing with Oklahoma that gives them a shot is that they got a really good defense. So having an elite defense should be able to neutralize them having a great offense if you're Oklahoma, which should give your offense a shot. I think that Dylan Gabriel is a good enough quarterback that as long as you give him a couple opportunities, he can be able to make some plays for you. Now, he is inconsistent at times, but I do think for the most part, he's a pretty good enough quarterback, and he should be good enough to get the job done as long as Texas, their offense struggles against this defense, okay? Now, for Oklahoma, you know, if you win this game, this is big, okay? And I don't really think too many people expect for Oklahoma to win this game. But if they win this game, then does that mean that Oklahoma could be a college football playoff contender? I mean, I don't think too many people are looking at Oklahoma as a potential playoff team. But if they win this game, it will make an already crazy season even more chaotic, especially when this is supposed to be the year that Texas is finally back, per se. And it certainly looks like that. Imagine if Oklahoma just plays spoiler. You know, that would just be gut-wrenching to Steve Sarkisian and the Longhorns faithful out there. Because it's like, damn, it's like, you feel like this is really the year. And your season wouldn't be SOL. You know, it wouldn't be over. You'll still be able to win this conference and make it to the playoffs and win it all, even with one loss, just with how chaotic this season is. But a loss to Oklahoma, you know, that kind of would be a little bit of a disappointment. Like, Texas is supposed to be one of the best teams in college football, and they should expect to win this game. You know, like, I'm taking them to win this game. I do like them to win, but I do think that this could be a little bit of a dogfight. And I'll be surprised if Oklahoma doesn't keep this thing close. I really like Brent Venables. You know, and Brent Venables really needs to come out and really show why he was a good hire for Oklahoma. Because many people think that Oklahoma, they don't really got a bright future with them moving to the SEC next year under Brent Venables. There are people who think they're going to be the next Nebraska. They're going to become irrelevant. So even if they don't win this game, like, they need to compete. They need to show that they belong on the field with Texas. Like, Texas is a team that potentially could win it all. And of course, Oklahoma fans are going to expect to win this game, and they're going to be pissed off if they lose. But if you're an Oklahoma fan and you lose this game by one possession, I think you should hang your hat off to that, because I think that Texas is good enough to win it all, and they very well could. But at the end of the day, I understand that this is a rivalry game, so you don't want to hear that nonsense. You know, if you lose, you're going to be pissed off, and there's no excuses about it. Because Oklahoma, their defense should be really good, but offensively, you know, if this game ends out becoming a shootout, it's going to favor Texas. I don't think Oklahoma is a team that's equipped to win a shootout with Texas, and Texas has a better defense. In that situation, I mean, Texas, we're not looking at them as a defensive juggernaut. We're looking at Oklahoma as that because they got Brent Venables. So if his defense gets torched, then I think they already lost. So for Oklahoma, I really want to know if they're going to be able to keep this game close. I believe they will. But if Texas blows them out, I'll be really shocked. Like, if Texas wins by like 2 possessions, I'll be a little surprised. On a scale of 1 through 5, if Texas blows out Oklahoma in this game, I'll be shocked on a scale of 5 out of 5. Because I think that Brent Venables does have a pretty solid team this year. Now, if Texas beats Oklahoma by 14 points, then I'll be shocked out of a scale of 3 out of 5. Now, if Oklahoma wins this game, I'll probably be surprised 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. I'll go 3.5 out of 5. The reason why I go with the 3.5 is because this is a rivalry game. And even though it seems like Texas feels as if they are a little bit of a more talented team than Oklahoma, the fact that this is a rivalry game and it's going to be intense and emotions are going to be running high, the game should just naturally be close based on that. I know you guys saw the Auburn-Georgia game. Most people thought that was going to be a bloodshedding. And instead, Auburn was hanging around with Georgia. So the fact that Oklahoma, they appear to be a better team this year than what they were last year, I definitely think they're capable of pulling off the upset. But like I said, I'm rolling with the Longhorns to get the win. I really just think that this is their year. And I don't know if they're going to go through their schedule completely unscathed, but I do think that they're going to be up for this game. Oklahoma's going to be up for this game. Both teams are going to be playing their final rivalry matchup in this conference in the Red River Showdown. But I really like the fact that, Texas has Quinn Ewers playing at a really consistent level. He was really inconsistent last year. And the fact that he's been consistent and you can depend on him, he hasn't had a lot of bad turnovers. I really have a lot of confidence that Texas can win this game. But this is going to be the final year of the Red River Showdown in the Big 12 Conference. It's going to be crazy seeing this rivalry play